Alright, a little update on what I found and what I've been making recently. So I'll start with the finds. Here are some of the major ones, and other than the fragments and shrapnels, and those are just sitting in the garage right now, but you've already seen those in the previous videos, hopefully. So yeah, some of these are today's find, like this shell, or a third of a shell. And yeah, so this is another shrapnel shell, which for some reason looks like, well, it exploded. But yeah, this one actually has a rotating band fully intact, so I thought that was pretty cool. And again, it was just sitting on the surface. And here's a little nose cone of probably a high explosive shell. But what this tells me is that the shell was using a base plug, or the base fuse. So the fuse will be screwed in the very bottom of the shell. And also it was probably a timer based, since this was just sitting out in the nowhere, so it was probably aerial explosion and caused this to fly somewhere else from the detonation site. So it's still pretty cool. It's very heavy actually. And this one right here is a lucky find. It's a flash tube for the shrapnel shell. And if you haven't seen the previous video, what it is basically a little tube that runs in the middle of the shell, a shrapnel shell, to carry the flash or the combustion from the fuse down into the powder dump, which is that right there. So this will be just like stuck on the base plate, or the piston, whatever you want to call it, like that. And you know, this will be sitting in there. Oh, it doesn't fit because of the rust, but you get the idea. Just the black powder will combust and then, you know, force this thing out like a big shotgun shell, pretty much. So that was pretty cool. And here more of the fuse components, and this one in particular has the firing pin exposed, which indicates that the shell detonated from the impact. So probably not much of it is left, or if it is left, it'll be probably flattened out. So I don't know, kind of a little bit of letdown, I guess. But another interesting part about this is it's been over-stamped twice. So you basically have two of everything overlapping. So you have the model number and then the patenting date over-stamped, whereas this one actually only has one. So, and you can actually see this one, the firing nick of the pins right there, while this one's exposed out. So yeah. Here are two brass shells I found today, and these are both 30 Remington. This is Remington, you know, UMC. Very similar to the other one. I actually have it right here. Except this one's a 35 Remington, so much smaller, but probably from same time period. Not quite sure when it was fired, but yeah, probably close. So thought that was cool. And this one is a bullet, and I found this. Actually, my friend found it. I took my friend to the metal detecting with me, but he found it in a hole with lots of shrapnels. So we thought it was a shrapnel, and then, you know, he pulled it out and looked at it, and he's like, "Hey, it's a bullet." But I measured it, and you know what? It is a 35 caliber, so it probably belonged to one of these shells. So this was about maybe 150 yards away from these shells. So I don't know, maybe it belongs to those. Here's a shotgun shell, the base of the shotgun shell. It had a plastic thing the full plastic part, but it was flattened and, you know, decaying, so I just cut it off and deprimed it. And yeah. Here's another fuse, or beaten up fuse, and all of these were inside of it, but fell out, or actually pulled it out, but saying it, but anyways, this is actually different fuse from what I had before and I'm still, trying to figure out what type of fuse it is. Probably impact, but it doesn't have any markings, so it's a mystery fuse. And here's a little pocket knife I found. This blade was, this blade was folded in, but I applied it out. And you know what? The center part of it is still pretty sharp, so I was pretty amazed at that. So blades are, what is it? Steel, probably, and the body's brass. So that's some of the basic finds. And here's what I've been making so far. You've already seen the bolt before, or half a bolt. And I've been working on the feeding mechanism for the MG42. So yeah, I'll explain in detail how it works later on. But, so, that's what I've been working on. So at least you know that I've been making something. Yeah. And I've also been making these little ammo belt, which are a pain in the butt. And you know what? I think I might just go and buy a $7 Yugoslavian copy off of the internet. But I don't know, I'd probably just make like 10 and stop with the starter tab. So basically you cut out these little templates out of fruit cans, drill holes in it, and then connect them with a little spring or coil made out of this wire. But yeah, so that's pretty much it on what I've been doing, and hopefully when everything is dried up outside, I'll probably take you guys along on metal detecting. So see you then.